What's going on, Ronin? Today we have another Rise of the Ronin video. This one's a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to change your appearance to look like Battosai from the Ronin Kenshin series. I had a lot of fun doing this and figured I'd share it with you guys so you can kind of get a grip on how the system actually works and you can actually make multiple characters. So first thing, you're going to go to your longhouse. In the relax menu, you're going to go to appearance, and we're going to change the appearance of your character first. Now, good news is you can have multiple character variations saved at a time, which is really cool. You don't have to worry about changing them back manually or anything like that. So down in the options menu here, if you've already created one, you're going to go to like save and load settings, and see I've already created Battosai. So I'm going to be applying that appearance. You can already see how much different he looks there. This is kind of going in reverse since I've already created mine, but in order to create yours, you're going to go back to the character creation menu. You're going to select base body type 1, which is the male. Preset, I just went with number 1 because you can fine tune the look later on. So that's the base version of the male model in the game. So you just select that. From there, you're going to go to not worry about these options here. They don't really do anything different as far as I could tell, but weapon stance is going to be 1. Skin color is important, so Battosai is a little bit lighter, so I chose the 4th color in, which looks like the most close to his actual character. Now, I'm basing him off the movie version, since this is kind of like a more realistic looking video game. I didn't want to get too crazy and try to do the anime version of him. And skin texture, you're going to want to choose number 5. It's like the clearest complexion. He's very fair skinned, clear complexion, so that was the best option that I figured would work best for him. That way you don't have to deal with, stubble and things of that nature. Now, onto the face. What you're going to do here is go to face shape, preset 5. I felt like that was the closest starting point to him, and we are going to tweak a little bit of things here, not too much, but we are going to tweak like the shape of his cheeks and jaw to give him that more thin look that he has. So cheekbone width is -5, and these are the ones you're going to have to change, right? So they start in the middle. Width -5, fullness -4, cheek width is going to be -6, and jaw height is going to be 15, and jaw width is going to be all the way down to number 20 to give him that kind of chiseled face look that he has in the films. The rest of them I didn't mess with, other than chin size and definition. So chin size -20, and definition is -16. And sharpness also I've bumped up a little bit to a 5, as well as the middle height -6. And again, these are kind of preference for you. This is just a starting point. This is how I created my version, and I feel like it looks pretty close to the movie. And lastly, the middle width is bumped it up to 4. So once you got your face set the way you wanted it, we're going to go back to probably the most important part, well, one of the 2 most important parts in the creation of Battosai. Will be the hair. This is just briefly showing you again what the settings are. that I went for, at least. I did tweak some other stuff, but I ended up going back to the more neutral part of it. Um, Aging, you're going to want to make sure that's all the way down. He is a young person. See, I based him off the beginning version, um, the one where, he gets the scar. So I didn't do anything else here. Initially, I messed around with the nose a bit, but I ended up just kind of see, if you can see, I just put it all back to default. Teeth, no, you don't need to worry about the teeth. Just the standard white teeth will work just fine. Mouth is personal preference. Again, he's got kind of slimmer lips. If you want to mess around with it, you can, but it's not necessary. And you'd see all the different options there. So, if you have the patience, feel free. But let's go back down to hair now. This is one of the most important aspects to get right. Took me a while to get it correct, but you don't want to choose preset because it'll give you something you can't edit. So I went down to base hair and I chose number 8, and that gives you the kind of the slick back with the ponytail, the long ponytail. That's the longest ponytail in the game. So I chose the base hair number 5, and then the bangs I went with 21. I wanted something that didn't cover the scar completely, but he's always kind of got his hair in his eyes throughout the movie, so I felt like option number 21 was the best way to go. There's a couple other ones you can kind of choose if you wanted to, but even that one is kind of cool, but I feel like the 21 is where you get the real true look of Battosai there, and you can still see the scar on the face. So the tied hair, you just pick the long ponytail. It's the longest one. It looks the best, most accurate, and it looks better in game when you're moving around because it does flow. And instead of the bangs, the bangs move around and stuff as well. So no other options here to change. So bangs 21, tied hair 2, base hair 8. Now moving along, we're gonna go with color and leave it the same because he does kind of have like a more auburnish in some of the movies, but I went with the straight black look. I feel like it just kind of looked the best overall. Facial hair, none. Now makeup is important because you think, well, he doesn't wear makeup, but this is where you're going to get your scar, right? So in this menu, you're going to want to scroll down, make sure you don't have any makeup like preset, or it shouldn't, but just to be sure. So you're going to have facial marking 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to use the first 2. So the first facial marking, type number 4, and it'll show you a little preview when you go in there of what to expect, and it's just that standard one scar there, but we're going to tweak it. It starts out off the forehead, but you're going to have to make some adjustments to get it down to the cheek area. So type 4, vertical is going to be -12. Horizontal is going to be bumped up to 50. The height is going to be almost all the way up to 88. And the width is going to be a 67. Rotation all the way down -100. And the opacity, I bumped it up all the way to 255. So it's more visible and prominent. Now, marking number 2, you're going to pick the same type, the number 4. Where we're kind of going to do it in reverse. So -20 for the vertical positioning, 59 for the horizontal positioning, 85 height, 62 width, rotation 32, opacity 192, so not quite as high, so it kind of like differentiates itself from the other one, and that's the scar. So now with body, height, head size don't matter. I didn't mess with them at all. But weight, I did, and I put them all the way down to the skinniest you can go. He is a slim dude, um, so I felt like making him the skinniest as possible would work better. And it shows when the overlay of clothes too. So muscle mass you don't got to tinker with unless you want to. You're not going to see that, so it doesn't really matter. And then of course no other body hair, tattoo, anything like that. Voice, this is kind of optional. I went with the Type 2 voice and I put the pitch to 7. Um, Reason for that is because he does have, like some battle. When you're in battle, he'll, as he swings the sword around. And to me, I guess this sounds the most accurate.
Don't mess up.
I'd like to hear what it sounds like in Japanese. I'd get a better
The two of us
depiction
are
of
one.
it, but
Don't forget
I'm
this.
playing the game in English for my first playthrough. And now you have your Battosai. So that's the appearance. So now you're going to go to options and save and load settings, and see I already have him saved there. And so just pick an empty spot. You can name it, which is really cool, so you don't get confused if you want to switch back and forth later. Um, so I named it, and your Battosai is ready to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to proceed with these characters by pressing start, and it'll drop you back into the longhouse, but you can see we need to change his outfit now because that's the same outfit I currently had equipped. But we're going to get as close to the movie version as possible. So go to relax again, and this time redesign. And it's going to take you into this menu if you haven't seen it yet. And this is the transmog system, right? So you can see how many different outfits I have registered. Mine is at 5 for the Battosai one. You have to kind of remember which ones they are. You can look through them before you actually go and load it and make any changes. But this is my version of Battosai here. It's the closest I could get with the weapons, skins, and clothing skins that I have unlocked. I initially I wanted to go all black, but I didn't have at the time. I didn't have the all black kimono set. I do now, but I kind of left him like this. Um, as you can see, you're going to go to body protection first and choose your torso. Or not, don't go to torso sets. That'll lock you in, and you can't make any changes to it to customize. So go to tops, and I went with the Hollandus File Casuals. I think that's how you say it. It's the closest to a red that I had. It's kind of got like a burnt red, orange, brownish hint, and it's a little minimal but cool designs on it. Nothing too over the top. He's dressed pretty casual in the films. So this is the closest I could get to it. Hopefully I unlock a red kimono at some point. There's got to be one in the game. I don't know how I haven't got it yet. But anyways, that's for the top. Undergarments you're not going to mess with because you're not going to see them. Bottoms, I went with the Constable's Kimono Hakama. He wears sort of a gray color, like plain gray in the movie, but this is the closest I could get, and it has the right length to it as well. But I actually like this, like it has that pattern to it a little bit, like the lines across, the length is right, and you'll see. I'm going to showcase a little bit of them after how it looks in motion. But yeah, the Constable's Kimono Hakama is the best choice if you have that unlocked. Now belts, this is kind of like up to you. He wears more of like a traditional tied in the back belt, but I like to see the knot in the front. I think it just adds character overall. But see, you could choose it. Even that one would kind of work, but for my personal taste, I went with this gray training wear Japanese belt. Now, outerwear, don't gotta mess with. He doesn't wear a coat or anything like that. He's got the standard kimono. Arm protection, you're not gonna change anything. Well, you're gonna remove any that you had, so he has spare hands. Foot protection, I went with the Yasuke's knee pads, and this is like a later unlock in the game. It's when you take down one of the high level fugitives, and when you get into the Tokyo region in Act 2. So if you don't have those yet, initially I started with the Shinobi socks. He kind of wears like a bluish, dark blue sock with his sandal in the film. These were the closest I could get my first time through. But once I unlocked the Yasuke knee pads, I felt like that looked a little bit matched a little bit better. Um, but if you don't have those, the Shinobi socks can do the trick just fine. So moving on to the next thing we're going to change, you don't have to mess with accessories. He doesn't wear any, no glasses or earrings, anything like that. Weapons, he only uses the katana from what I remember. He might pick up someone else's weapon, use it against him, but what he carries on his person is the katana. I don't even think he has a wakizashi, it's just the standard katana, but there's no option for that. You have to have the two swords set. And this is kind of also up to preference as well. Uh, I ended up going with the stock, like the base uh, model, if you will. It's the black case with the nice looking wrapping and hilt. It's the first one, the Uchi Katana, just a standard one. In the movie, he has like a brown sheath with white wrapping, but I didn't have anything close enough to that. There is one. It's like the mass produced Uchi Uchi Katana, but you can see it there. It's the brown is too light, and I feel like the white is too bright. So if you could change the color, tweak the color, that'd be cool. But you can't, so it's up to you if you want to go with that style or the black one, that first option there that I chose. You don't have to mess with any of the other weapons. He doesn't carry any. There are times where he uses kind of like two swords at once when he'll pick up an enemy's sword or whatever. If you want to switch the style of a pair of swords, that'd be cool. But the sub weapons, he doesn't use any, no bows, handguns, rifles, none of that. So now you got them set. So your next thing you're going to want to do is register as a favorite. See, I have all my different favorites here, and you can't name these. So just remember where you put it, which number or at least what day. Just trying to kind of make a mental note of which area you saved it in. And then you're going to apply these settings to your appearance. And we have our Battosai finished. Now it'll put you back in the longhouse. You can see him sitting there. And so I'll exit out here and kind of show you how it looks in the actual world itself. So pretty good. I think I did a pretty good job with this one. It's got the complexion. You can see when the sun hits him, it looks correct. The hair flowing looks really cool. The kimono flowing. Nothing clipping through each other. It looks real clean. You got to have this sword stance. You unlock this as soon as possible because you can't be Battosai without this stance that he basically invented in real life, right? And this move here, obviously, directly influenced by the character. So that's Battosai. More to come. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys later.